We have been given sense enough to find out that if my consciousness is not producing what I want, maybe I need to learn how to change consciousness instead of playing the blame game. What is it? See, we get caught in a trap. Most of us were raised in the Judeo-Christian tradition, and you have Adam and Eve, and they eat the apple, and God says, "Why'd you eat the apple?" And they said, "Well, the snake made me do it." And they said that after Adam said, "Eve made me do it." And so the first lesson we get in the Bible is blame it on somebody else. Okay. Dr. Raymond Charles Barker said the best thing that ever happened to us is getting thrown out of that damn garden. So we could do what? Wake up to our own potential. Wake up to the realization, as Jesus said, don't you know you're God? Don't you know that you are God, our Father which art in heaven? P.D. Ouspensky, the great Russian physicist, pointed out that we will evolve into the realization of the Christ person. Not the Christian, but the Christ person, which is what? That is the realization of, that is thinking as oneness thinks, not thinking about oneness. How many know people who sit around thinking about oneness but don't do anything with their life? The challenge is to think as oneness thinks, not think about oneness. You people are wonderful musicians. You think as music thinks. How many have a profession or something you do and you think as it, you don't think about it? How many, raise your hand if you do it? Okay. See? How many drive a car? Okay, you think as a driver. Remember when you used to think about driving a car? It's different now, isn't it? Okay. But how many get a new car and you bring the new car home, and the next day you get in the new car and you try to put the key in the old car? That's your subjective. And your subjective, sometimes it takes it a while for it to wake up to the fact that you are in the now and you're not in yesterday anymore. Because yesterday will not happen anymore unless you insist on it. I got a great, received a wonderful story to illustrate something, because I never tell stories unless I wanted to illustrate something. But it was sent to me by one of the wonderful illustrators in our movement, and that's Dr. Arlene Bump. How many are Dr. Arlene Bump fans? Hey, we're going to have her here shortly. Anyhow, I love this story. She said, please use this Sunday, though. Your people will love it. So if you don't, her email address is, no, all right. Arlene sent me this story. She said, I was walking down the street when I was accosted by a particular dirty and shabby-looking homeless woman who asked me for a couple of dollars for dinner. I took out my wallet and gave her $10, and I got out $10 and asked her, if I give you this money, will you buy wine instead of dinner? No, I stopped drinking 10 years ago, the homeless person told me. Will you use it to go shopping instead of buying food, I asked. No. I don't waste time shopping, the homeless woman said. I need to spend all my time just trying to stay alive. Will you spend the money on a beauty salon instead of food, I asked. Are you nuts? Replied the homeless woman. I haven't had my hair done in 20 years. Well, I said, I'm not going to give you the money. Instead, I'm going to take you out for dinner with my husband and me tonight. The homeless woman was shocked, said, won't your husband be furious with you for doing that? I know I'm dirty and I probably smell pretty disgusting. And I said, that's okay. It's important for him to see what a woman looks like after she is giving up shopping, hair appointments, and wine. Do you like that story? Yeah, give Arlene a hand. Thank you, Arlene. Good. I love it. How many are Henry David Thoreau fans? See how we can take the thing itself and apply it to this idea. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined. Isn't that wonderful? For 35 years, we've been affirming here. Say it with me. All my dreams are waiting for me to come true. And why will they come true? Because the power within you can't say no. That's the thing itself. It just says yes. Our intelligent application of self through self to self says, if it's going to say yes, I better pay attention to what I'm giving it to do. If it's going to say yes, maybe I need to think about what I think about all day long. If I get off track, maybe I need to take a class and find out how to deliver a spiritual mind treatment so that I can get out of world mind treatment into spiritual mind treatment. As I said earlier, everybody on the planet is involved in treatment. Most people are involved in world mind treatment, not spiritual mind treatment. Leonard Bernstein said, from New Year's on, the outlook brightens, good humor lost, in a mood of failure returns. I resolved to stop complaining. How's that for a resolution this year? I resolved to stop complaining. Everybody say it. Now, if you do nothing this morning but hear this lesson, I promise you a better year. If you are a complainer, you have to fill your life full of things to complain about in order to keep proving to yourself you're a complainer. How many know there's enough people out there moaning, groaning, and complaining about things, who live at the level of Murphy's Law? If it can go wrong, it will. Okay. Our challenge, again, is to open up and recognize, Oscar Wilde said, good resolutions are simply checks that men draw on the bank where they have no account. Think about that for a while. You see, we have a possibility. Dr. Holmes says, in this handout I gave you, the divine nature of every person, he says this is the thing itself. Briefly, let us recapitulate. There is that within every individual which partakes of the nature of the universal wholeness, and insofar as it operates is God. That is the meaning of the word Emmanuel, the meaning of the word Christ. There is that within us which partakes of the nature of the divine being. And since it partakes of the nature of the divine being, we are divine. It reacts to us according to our belief in it. And it is an immutable law, subject to the use of the least among us, no respecter of persons. It cannot be bound. Now this idea, everybody say, no respecter of persons. What he's pointing out here is there is nothing in the universe that likes the Baptist better than the Methodist, that likes the Christians better than the Jews, better than Islam, better than Buddhists, better than Hindu, better than whatever. It's all one thing. Dr. Holmes said whatever anybody believes in, it's just something they made up, and the only difference between them and us is we got a better imagination. Okay.